students, what's a moment you completely lost respect for a teacher or professor? I was a freshman in college, excited but nervous. My parents had sacrificed everything for me to be the first in our family to attend university. My financial aid barely covered tuition, so I worked nights at a 24-hour diner to pay for books and living expenses. Dr. Wilson taught Introduction to Philosophy, my 8 a.m. class 3 days a week. He had a reputation for brilliance and harshness in equal measure. I was determined to impress him. The first few weeks went well. I stayed awake during lectures, despite working until 2 a.m. most nights. I participated in discussions and earned solid grades on the first 2 papers. Then came midterms week. I picked up extra shifts because my roommate needed emergency dental work and couldn't cover her portion of rent. Between double shifts and studying for 4 other exams, I barely slept for days. The morning of Dr. Wilson's midterm, I arrived 5 minutes late. The fluorescent classroom lights made my exhaustion-induced headache throb. As I slipped into the back row, Dr. Wilson stopped his pre-exam instructions. "Ms. Rodriguez, how kind of you to grace us with your presence," he announced to the silent lecture hall. "I'm sorry, sir, the bus was..." "Save your excuses. You know my policy on tardiness." I did know. The syllabus stated that tardy students couldn't take exams. But surely 5 minutes. "Please, Dr. Wilson, I worked all night and I studied so hard for this. I can't afford to." "Your personal scheduling problems aren't my concern," he interrupted. "Everyone else managed to arrive on time." I felt tears threatening. Could I please just leave my classroom now? The silence was suffocating as 70 students watched me gather my things. Someone whispered, "That's harsh, man." I approached his desk on my way out. "Dr. Wilson, please. This exam is 30% of our grade. I'll do anything to make this up." He looked at me with cold eyes. "Perhaps this will teach you responsibility. The real world doesn't accommodate excuses." I walked out, humiliated and devastated. In the hallway, I slid down against the wall and finally let the tears come. 2 days later, I went to his office hours to plead my case again. I brought documentation of my work schedule and a letter from my manager confirming my overnight shift. "Dr. Wilson, I understand punctuality is important," I started, "but I'm working almost 40 hours a week to afford being here. I've never missed an assignment. I'm asking for one accommodation." He barely glanced at my documentation. "Ms. Rodriguez, do you think you're the only student with responsibilities others manage without special treatment? It's not special treatment to... I suggest you drop this class and try again next semester, perhaps with better time management." Something broke inside me. "Do you have any idea what it costs someone like me to be here? The sacrifices my family made? That's not my problem," he replied dismissively. I stood up straight. "No, it's not. But basic humanity should be. You're supposed to be teaching ethics and moral philosophy, yet you can't even practice elementary compassion." I dropped his class that afternoon and filed a complaint with the department head. I learned later that mine wasn't the first complaint. The next semester, Dr. Wilson's tenure review came up. Surprisingly, he was denied. A colleague later told me the department had compiled a pattern of discriminatory behavior toward working class and minority students. I never took another philosophy class, but I graduated with honors 4 years later. At commencement, I saw Dr. Wilson in the faculty section, now demoted to adjunct status.